What's up guys, it's Akiman here. Today I'm going to be doing another game art analysis video, specifically on Akiman. Now, if you don't know who Akiman is, born July 21st in 1964, Akira Yusada, forgive me for pronunciation, works under the pen name Akiman and began working for Capcom in 1985 after illustrating characters in 1989's Final Fight. Akiman started working on the Street Fighter 2 series and soon became one of the most influential fighting game designers of all time. He's created probably some of the most iconic characters or artworks for Capcom, including some well-known influential titles such as Power Stone, Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, Final Fight, Star Gladiator, and Captain Commando 2. Most of these artworks or designs I've probably seen at Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I didn't play a lot of the X-Men vs. Street Fighters. My first introduction was Marvel vs. Capcom. His work rate was crazy. Some great fighting games, especially I'd like to say Capcom's golden era of fighting games when they were just in their bag consistently. Just after every game there was another game coming. I want to break down each section. I'm going to break down each section the way I did in my first video, specifically with line work. On one of his works, I remember that his line work is super minimal. He barely uses any traditional shading techniques such as cross-hatching or inking. On some works, he barely uses any lines. He jumps between different line weights very often, which isn't a bad thing. They sometimes evoke different feels that change the way the illustration comes across. For example, Geef is one. He looks very angry, and you have characters that, like Ryu, for example, who's very stoic. His line work would be much different. For the Geef one, he's tensing. It looks like he's much more heavier because he's flexing compared to the likes of this Gao illustration. The line work is less, which kind of feels more like he's more relaxed in a ready stance. Not tensed up with harder lines, just ready for action, less than Geef is anyways. That then leads me on to shading. All of his artwork generally tends to not use any heavier lines or heavier shading. He uses hints of shading on minimal shadows on a character, but much deeper within the background or foreground illustration. It's never black, it's always like a navy-ish or a turquoise color. It kind of just helps the illustrations pop a bit. An example would be Venom in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, or just his general illustrations. It just adds a much more better feel of dynamicness and not just like flat black, just trying to swap between gray and black. Kind of like what you see with the symbiote Spider-Man artworks from the comics. There's always just shades of blue to just bring something a bit more different out, particularly his muscles or vascularity as a symbiotic alien, for instance. One thing to touch on as well is his colors. He's really good at using multiple colors to highlight different shadowy areas, and his shadows are always super light. His earlier works were actually much more flat or hyper 2D to an extent. His work has certainly improved, including like his colors or details. They've just gotten a bit much more deeper, or there's more of a sense of understanding and refinement to his artwork since then. The biggest difference to see is when Ryu got announced for Smash Bros. Akiman redrew his Street Fighter 2 artworks, but just for Smash Bros. So if we put both of them up, you'll just see the differences side by side. They're just clear-cut improvements overall. To conclude, I feel like Akiman's art style made significant contributions to Capcom's development and graphics and animation patterns, from being one of the cooler artists that Capcom has, and inspired a lot of new talent within the game industry. But who is your favorite game artist? And if you like the video, please check out some of my other ones. There are so many different artists that I do want to cover. There are so many artists that I do want to cover, but if you like this video, then check out some of my other videos as well. I try and mix together a good amount of gaming, commentary and artistic content. But if you did like this, just please like, comment and subscribe. It's been Akiman.